Right, hello again. I'm back regarding this Fender Jaguar refret. I've now got it all jigged up, as you can see. I used the original neck bolts, screws to screw it to this piece of wood which I've got secured. I've got the frets are all in. This morning I've taken the time to level all the frets. And what I'm doing now is I've just been doing the runoff area. Basically the runoff area comes from the 12th fret down to the M fret. What we do is we slightly put a bit of tape on the 12th fret and we're going to take down at an angle, slightly, so each fret gets progressively lower as you get to the end. It's going to make a difference of nothing really, about 1/4 of a mil all the way along the length from the 12th, 13th fret down to the 21st fret. I've already done that, and the way we do that is we take a sanding block, radius block, we take the sandpaper off, we bring the put some tape on there up to a height we can work at, and we basically, that's how we go about doing that. That's done, that's all done now. What I need to do now is I've crowned these frets. Basically where they went flat I've recrowned using a crowning file, which I've used this one. I use this occasionally. This is a great piece of kit. It's crowned for jumbo frets. I've done that with that. I'm going to be doing, I'm not going to crown these yet, I'm going to crown these after I've taken off the edges, because the edges are still sticking out. I'm going to bring the camera around, I'm going to show you what I mean. So there you go, you can see the neck there. Now if we look down the length of the neck, the frets are still sticking over the side of the fretboard. I don't know how much you can see, that's just whizzing a little. And there you go. The frets are all still sticking out. Now what we're going to do is, I've got a tool here, a file. It's got a file, it's one at 35 degrees, which I'll get to in a minute, and there's the one at 90 degrees. Here. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to run this one, so we take the edges off, across the whole length of the neck. Like so, until I've got the frets all flush with the side of the neck itself. Now you can see I've got the tape, I don't know if you can see it from here, but I've got the tape. Got tape running all along the side of the neck on both sides, so we don't damage the guitar in any way. Like I said, I'm going to do this. Once I've done that, we'll come over to this side, and this is how we get, sorry, we'll come over to this side, and this is how we get the angle into the frets. So I'm not going to do it, I'm showing you how it's going to be done. I'm going to be getting on with that. I'm going to get them all done, both sides. Once that's done, I'm going to finish off crowning all these frets. And once that's done, it's just a matter of getting them all polished up and get it polished up and getting the neck back on the guitar. Just whiz out. So there you go. So that's basically all I've got to do now. I'm going to blob on with it and I'll get back to you later. Right, back again. Had a right good day on this Jaguar. I've been on and off it all day. I've been having a great time. I wanted to start here because I'm just about to peel off the tape after I've levelled all the frets. I've took all the edges off all the way along the length of the neck itself, filed them all down, trimmed them all, and I've polished the frets only with, so far, 1200 grit paper. Now what I need to do still, that's a 1200, what I still need to do is, I need to go across with 1500 grit and 2000 grit to finish polishing them off. But what I wanted to do here and now is, I'm going to take, because I've done all the fret ends, I want to take off the tape, so I'm going to do that now while you're here. And I'm going to close in on the neck itself, and you can see what a job I've done of it. All that needs to be done, like I say now, is polishing. once they're polished, the neck can go back on the guitar and we can set the guitar up. So without further ado, I'm going to bring the camera in and show you what's what. There you go. So that basically is that. The frets are all superb, well, we're all levelled. I've checked, I've been across with a fret level checker. I've checked the lot, they're all absolutely level. We're level at the edges, we're level in the middle, we're level all the way across the whole length of the neck. They've all been recrowned, we've been part polished. Like I say, I'm going to polish them now with 1500 grit and 2000 grit. So I'll show you basically how I do that, and it's quite easy. And all I do is I take 1500 grit, like so, and I'm just going to go across the old frets. What that's doing is putting fine little sand lines that way across the frets. What I'm going to do now is, to get the polish effect, I'm going to go this way, up and down with the same grit paper, 1500. Once I've done this, I'm going to go across with 2000. Once that's done, basically they're going to be polished, smooth and shiny, and I'll do the final polishing with the finest steel wool I've got, which is, well, I've got the finest 0000. So basically this is all we're going to do. I'm going to blob on with this. As you can see, the frets are becoming highly polished. Once that's done, I'm going to oil the fretboard and get the neck back on the guitar. So for now, that's it. Like I say, I'm going to finish the polishing, get the neck back on the guitar, and once the neck's oiled and everything, we can look at getting the guitar set up and it'll be ready for tomorrow. Get back to you soon. Right, good morning. It's Saturday the 25th of June 2016, day before my 51st birthday, so if you've got any gifts for me, get them in now. So we're here for tomorrow, just saying. So the final part we're on of this Jaguar refret. This is where it gets exciting for me, because this is where we get down to the getting it all back together. I'm going to show you what I've done. And there you go. There's the neck all ready to go back on the guitar. I don't know how close I can get with this camera, but I'm going to bring you in. All the frets are all rounded off at the ends, we're all filed, we're all polished, we're all levelled, everything. You'll agree with it looks really, really good. Also these scallops are not the best scallops in the world, they probably want a little bit of reshaping, but I've redone these three just to show the owner. I've never done scallops before, but how difficult is it? So I've re-scalloped these three at the end here, so if he wants to bring it back and get me to do the rest, I will do. That's another job for another time. I'm tying things up at the moment because, like I say, tomorrow's my birthday, so I'm having a bit of a slow day today. I'm going on holiday next week, so I'm winding down all the jobs I've got in. I've got 3 guitars to finish this weekend, and I'm not going to take anything in after the 29th, but today it's all about this guitar. Now, I've left the nut off. I've left the nut off for a reason. Reason being, these frets are 1.3 mil high. probably a bit less than that, and I've skimmed the top off and filed them all down and levelled them. But they're higher than the frets that were in. The frets that were in were about 1 millimetre, 1.1 millimetre wear, I imagine. Meaning the nut itself might be a little bit too low for these frets, and we might need to take that a little bit higher. Now, the only way we're going to get this nut any higher is by putting a shim underneath. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get the guitar set up. I'm going to put it all back together this morning. I'm going to put the nut on. I'm not going to glue it in now, I'm just going to put it on. I'm going to see if we can get it all tuned in and set up with the nut as it is, or see if I need to put a tiny shim under here. I would imagine if I do need a shim, it needs to be a 0.2 of a millimetre thick, and I'm thinking of doing that. So if I have to do that, I've got some veneer in one of my parts drawers. I bought some veneer for doing shims and stuff like that. I'm going to file down, I'll sand down some veneer to a certain thickness, and what I'll do is I'll stain it with a little bit of ebony stain, and I'll match it up to the colour of the rosewood fingerboard, and we'll get a little tiny shim under there. So that's it this morning. Get the guitar back together. This has been in its case. I'm going to give it some polish, check the electrics and everything, sure everything's going to be alright. I'm going to get it back together this morning, get some strings on it, get it set up, and hopefully we won't have to do anything to the nut, and it can be ready for pick up today at some point. Now I've already spoken to Sam about it, and I says it's probably best he picks it up tomorrow because today I'm going to be busy. So really, that's it. I'm just going to show you, I'm just going to come again and I'm going to bring you in. That's a refret. I love doing refrets. The nice big jumbo frets here. So they've all been levelled and crowned, polished. The big jumbo frets. They're about, I don't know what size it is in the Dunlop size or whatever. They are, if you take a measurement on, they're 2.9 something millimetres wide by 1.3 millimetres high from the actual base of the fretboard itself. The tang, I can't remember the size of the tang. But like I say, these were all sealed in here, so I've had to cut them and file them and remove some tang like it's a band neck, because in effect it really is. If you look at here, it's all sealed. So it took a couple of hours longer. Well, it took me 3 hours to do the frets extra, so it took a bit longer than I expected. I imagine when all said and done, this is going to have had, because you get a free setup with this worth 65 quid, a complete full setup. So I'd imagine it's had about 10 hours, but I don't rush. It's not like I'm working like a slave for 10 hours. I take my time, and I like to enjoy doing it. You don't want your job to become stressful or I'm fed up with this, like with Andy's guitar, that telly I've had for 3 months. That's one of the guitars you think, I don't want to work on that, it's too much trouble, it's getting on my wing, and I'm not making them, I'm not even getting paid for it proper. But you get something like this and you think, yeah, really good job on this, and I enjoy work. In fact, I enjoy working on all the guitars when all said and done. It's just some can be a pain. Really enjoy working on this. I'm going to blob on with that. I do tend to gab a bit. It's 7 o'clock in the morning on Saturday. I'm a little bit tired, but I'm just waking up now getting refreshed. Looking forward to the weekend, so I'm going to blob on this guitar, and I'll come back when it's all finished. Right, it's Sunday afternoon. I've got the owner of the Jaguar coming round any time now, or in the next hour or so, to pick up the Jaguar. I've just finished it. It's here in its case. And there you go. It's looking beautiful. The only thing I've got any grievance, not a grievance, but the only thing I'm not mega happy with is the nut. In hindsight, I should have put a new nut on it. Now, I did order a couple of nuts to come, but the one with the curve in it that fits this neck didn't arrive in time. So I thought, what I'll do is, I'll use the old nut, but I did have to shim it up a little bit. So I have shimmed it up a tiny bit. And what I did was, because the grooves were cut a little bit too deep, I've filled them with super glue, a mix of super glue, and I've recut the nut itself. I don't know if you can see it there, but it looks a tiny little bit untidy around here. So what I'm going to say to Sam when he gets here is, when I come back off my holidays, this nut will be fine for now, but when I come back off my holidays I'll put him a new nut on there, and I won't charge him out for it. Now the frets, as you can see, the frets have gone in beautiful. The jumbo frets they've gone in, they're nice and big. The guitar plays beautiful all the way up. So there's no buzz anywhere. That's it, it plays absolutely fine, there's no buzz all the way up the neck. I've got it set to the recommended 1.75mm at the 17th fret on the low E, 1.5mm at the 17th fret on the top E. There are no dead notes anywhere up the neck, up the scallops. I think it looks really nice. There are a couple of, these pots were loose, I've tightened them up, checked the electrics, yeah, the electrics seem fine. I don't know the electrics on this, but I imagine these are on-off switches for the pickups, so I imagine that's an out of phase switch, I don't know. These will be volumes and they'll be tone. I've had it plugged in, it works all fine, and that's it. It's been a fun job to work on. I've learned a couple of new things. I've learned how to do scallops because I've done these last three. Like I say, when Sam comes and picks his guitar up, I'll ask him if he wants me to do the rest of scallops for him when I come back. And really that's it. There's the guitar. I'll put that back on. It's a little thingy holder, plectrum holder. It looks and plays beautiful. I've done a little memento of what also you can take away with him. I've saved him first and last frets that were on there. They're a lot smaller than the frets I've just put on the jumbo, so I'll stick them in his little in his case. And that's it, another job wrapped up. I'm preparing to go away next week. I've got a couple of jobs to do still. I've got another guitar to do today, I've got an acoustic to do today. I need the frets looking at, needs the fretboard looking at, needs a bit of a polish in there, clean up and restring. I'm going to get on with that. And I've got Andy Gillen's Telecaster to get strung up, that can go back this week. So I'm tying all these jobs up this week. I'm still taking work on up until the end of Wednesday. After Wednesday I'm taking no work on because I want to get wrapped up for Friday. So really that's it. This Jaguar is done. It'll be gone in an hour or so, and it's been a fun project. So I'll see you again. Be good to each other now, and I'll see you soon.